All right, so are you ready for this? Today's deep dive, it's all about how to conquer that morning mayhem.
Ah, yeah.
You know that feeling, right, when you're like barely getting out the door on time?
Totally.
Well, we're going way beyond those generic tips you hear all the time
Right.
and diving into, well, a real family story,
Okay.
the Smith family, and they actually used a business technique to fix their morning struggles.
Really? A business technique?
Yes,
Wow.
it's called value stream mapping.
Hmm. Value stream mapping.
Yeah, it's a fancy way of saying that they drew a map of their entire morning
Okay.
just to like see where all the holdups were.
Interesting.
Yeah. They treated their morning routine like as a puzzle.
Like a puzzle to solve.
Yeah, exactly. So who are these masterminds?
Right.
Well, we've got the parents, Charlie and Kennedy, and they've got 3 kids.
Right.
Alex, Skylar, and 6-year-old Riley, who is the star of our story today. And Riley's frequent tardiness, shall we say, that was the catalyst for this whole operation.
Oh, I see. So they were trying to get Riley to school on time.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah, and it's amazing because it shows how even just these little hiccups can really throw off like a whole system. Like,
Oh, yeah.
a missing puzzle piece can just
And you ruin your whole day.
ruin your whole day. So just picture this, okay? Alarms are blaring, everyone's scrambling, and Riley is constantly running late for school.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Stress levels
Mm.
through the roof.
Oh, for sure.
And what's so fascinating is that it was Alex, one of the older kids,
Okay.
who actually had this aha moment.
Hmm.
They had learned about value stream mapping in school.
In school?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they suggested, hey, why don't we try this at home? Who knew business class could be so practical, right?
It's great. Yeah, I never thought about using it for like daily life.
It's like when you finally use that random trivia fact in real life.
Finally.
You're like, yes, finally. So they started by just like breaking down their morning routine step by step.
Okay.
So Charlie's job was waking Riley up
Uh-huh.
and getting them dressed.
Okay.
Seems simple enough, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
But as they quickly found out, even those like really basic tasks can hide all these like unexpected delays.
Oh, interesting.
And any snag on Charlie's end would just create this domino effect on the whole rest of the morning.
Makes sense.
And then we get to the breakfast saga, starring Alex and Skylar in their toast-making extravaganza.
Okay.
So we had bread in a high-up cabinet.
Uh-huh.
Then Skylar would have to wait for the toast to be done.
Okay.
Then there'd be this frantic jam and butter spread
Oh, my goodness.
before everything got cold.
Oh, yeah.
It was just chaotic.
Sounds like it.
It was just like wasted time and handoffs.
Yeah.
They weren't working smoothly together at all, and it was just this major traffic jam in their whole morning.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Kennedy's like racing against the clock, right?
Right.
To gather Riley's stuff and
Yeah.
make that bus.
Oh, yeah.
And even though she was like a master of efficiency,
Okay.
any delays, before her part put her in a serious time crunch.
It's like if one part's optimized, but the other parts aren't,
Exactly.
it can all fall apart.
So they could chain, right?
Yeah.
It's only as strong as its weakest link.
Yeah, exactly.
And here's another thing they realized, okay, speed wasn't everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Because Riley wasn't a huge fan of the rushed toast.
No, I can imagine.
2 out of 5 school days, it would be burnt, uneven, or just like plain wrong.
Yeah.
They needed to look at how well things were being done, not just how fast.
That's a really good point.
Quality matters, even for toast.
Exactly.
So with their morning all mapped out and the flaws exposed, what did they find?
Okay, so they had the map, they had the problems highlighted.
Yeah.
What did they actually uncover?
Well, they found that breakfast, with its, low quality and its time-consuming process, was a major bottleneck.
Like a bottleneck in their morning.
Yeah. Imagine a highway with a single lane blocked. Okay? Everything backs up.
Oh, for sure.
It's like realizing that one tiny knot in a necklace is preventing the whole thing from laying flat.
Right, it's all connected.
And this visual representation, the value stream map, it just let them pinpoint the issue.
Okay, so it wasn't like any one person was the problem.
No.
It was the way the process was set up.
Exactly.
It was the process itself.
Okay, so how did they fix this toast-making turmoil?
Well, it's a good question.
What'd they do?
Well, they got resourceful and came up with some really, surprisingly simple but brilliant solutions
Okay.
that totally revolutionized their mornings.
I'm ready to hear about these game-changing solutions.
I know. They sound like they could be life-changing for all of us,
I
right?
feel like.
Okay, so first up,
Okay.
they decided to cross-train each other. Cross-train.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So Skylar, the resident jam spreading expert, okay,
Okay.
taught Alex her technique.
Ah, so now either one of them could make the toast.
Exactly.
That's smart.
Yeah, it's like having a backup generator for your morning routine.
I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
It eliminates those single points of failure
Right.
and keeps things moving.
Keeps it all going.
Yeah. And then they decided to like rotate roles each day.
Ah, okay.
So Alex and Skylar would switch tasks.
Interesting.
That way no one got stuck doing the same thing every single morning.
Yeah, keeps things interesting.
Right. And they made one other tweak
So-
to their breakfast routine.
Wow.
This one was huge.
What was it?
They got rid of unnecessary handoffs.
Oh, okay.
No more waiting for Alex to pass the bread to Skylar.
Got it.
They streamlined all the steps
Ah, I see.
and cut out all those tiny delays.
Right, because those little delays add up.
Exactly. They add up to a lot of lost time.
Interesting.
So it's like they decluttered their morning routine.
They got rid of the clutter.
Got rid of all those unnecessary steps and made everything way more efficient.
So what were the results?
Oh, the results. They were incredible.
Let's hear it.
Remember that breakfast bottleneck we talked about?
Yeah, the big one?
They managed to cut the process time in half.
In ass.
In half.
Wow.
From 20 minutes down to just 10.
That's amazing.
And the quality of their toast.
Oh, yeah. What happened to the toast?
It skyrocketed.
So no more burnt offerings?
No. They went from like burnt offerings to like toast perfection.
I bet Riley was happy about that.
Oh, Riley was thrilled. And the benefits didn't stop there.
Oh, really?
No, their entire morning routine just got this huge boost in efficiency and quality.
That's great.
But we'll dive deeper into those results in part 2 of our deep dive.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
Can't wait to hear more about their journey and what other areas they tackled.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, folks, because this deep dive is just getting started. Welcome back to the deep dive. We're right in the middle of the Smith family's morning routine makeover, and I'm just amazed by how they used a simple map
Right.
to conquer all that chaos.
Yeah, it's really it really shows you how powerful it can be
Right.
to think about things as systems, you know?
Yeah.
We often just try to fix these little problems here and there.
Uh-huh.
But the Smiths, they took a step back
Yeah.
and looked at how everything was connected.
They realized that every little action
Right.
had this ripple effect, and
Right.
that even small changes could make things so much better.
It's like,
Yeah.
have you ever seen those chain reaction machines
Oh, yeah.
where like one tiny movement sets off this whole crazy sequence of events?
Okay.
That's kind of what it's like.
Yeah, and speaking of those little movements, let's go back to that brilliant move of getting rid of handoffs
Right.
during breakfast prep, you know? Why was that so important?
Well, think about it this way. Every time you have to like pass something off to someone else,
Yeah.
there's a pause.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little moment of transition.
Right.
And those might seem tiny on their own,
Yeah.
but they really add up.
So those little like hesitations in their breakfast routine
Right.
were like speed bumps
Exactly.
slowing down their progress.
Yeah, they were creating this cumulative drag on the whole process.
And I bet it also like helped reduce the chances of things going wrong.
Oh, absolutely. Every time you hand a task off to someone else,
Yeah.
there's that chance for miscommunication
Right.
or for someone to make a mistake.
Like a game of telephone.
Exactly. It's like that game of telephone where, you know,
It gets all jumbled up.
it gets all jumbled up by the end. So by cutting out those handoffs, they made things faster, but they also made them more accurate.
It's making me think about all the handoffs in my own life, like those emails back and forth,
Oh, yeah.
the meetings, even just handing someone the remote.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to do some value stream mapping of my own life.
It's a really versatile tool, and that's what's so inspiring about the Smiths.
Yeah.
They didn't need some fancy software
Yeah.
or consultants.
Yeah.
They just used their common sense
Uh-huh.
and a little creativity.
So we've seen how they totally transform their breakfast routine.
Right.
But what about the overall impact on their whole morning?
Well, remember those other areas that they wanted to work on?
Oh, yeah.
Like Charlie's wake-up routine
Mm-hmm.
and Kennedy's pre-packing process.
Right. Those were the steps where things weren't always running smoothly.
Yeah, and this is a great example of how you can use value stream mapping
Yeah.
to keep making things better.
Oh,
They
wow.
didn't just stop at breakfast.
Uh-huh.
They wanted to optimize everything.
So how'd they tackle those other challenges?
Well, for Charlie's wake-up routine,
Okay.
they realized that relying on just an alarm clock
Uh-huh.
wasn't really working.
Especially with a 6-year-old.
Yeah, especially with the 6-year-old. So they got creative.
Ooh, I love creative solutions. What did they do?
Well, they decided to try a bunch of different things. They
Okay.
started using one of those light alarm clocks
Oh, yeah.
that mimics the sunrise.
I've heard those are great.
Yeah, it helps you wake up more gradually,
I
so you don't feel so groggy.
That's a great idea. Did they do anything else?
They did. They also added in some fun stuff to the routine.
Okay.
So instead of just yelling "wake up,"
Right.
Charlie would you'd play some music,
Oh, nice.
or even like do a little dance.
Ah, that's so cute. And I bet that made mornings a little more enjoyable for Charlie too.
Oh, for sure. It's all about finding ways to make things more fun and engaging
Right.
for everyone involved.
Okay, so what about Kennedy's pre-packing routine? She was already pretty efficient, right?
She was, but they realized that even small changes could make a big difference.
I am all ears when it comes to reducing that morning stress. So what did they change?
Well, they started doing something really simple but really effective.
Okay.
They started packing Riley's bag the night before.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right.
No more last-minute scrambling for permission slips
Exactly.
or forgotten library books.
Yeah, no more of that.
It's like giving your future self a gift, you know?
Exactly.
A little bit of prep work that goes a long way.
Yeah, and that's what's so great about this whole approach.
Hmm.
It's not about having some rigid, like, military-style routine.
Right.
It's about finding those little things that can really make a difference.
It's about taking control of your time and making your routine work for you, not against you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So did the Smiths make any other changes, or was that the final piece of the puzzle?
Well, the cool thing about value stream mapping
Yeah.
is that it's an ongoing process.
Oh, okay.
So they learned that they could keep adapting and improving.
So it's not like a one-time thing. It's
Yeah.
something you can keep doing.
It's like their morning routine became this living, breathing thing, you know,
Interesting.
constantly evolving, getting better.
So it sounds like the lessons they learned from their morning routine didn't just stop there.
No.
They applied it to other parts of their lives too.
This sounds like it goes way beyond just getting the kids to school on time.
Right?
I'm really eager to hear how they applied these principles to other areas of their lives.
Well, we'll get into that in the final part of our deep dive.
Okay. Stay tuned, folks, because the best is yet to come. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been talking all about the Smith family's morning routine makeover, and it's amazing how they took this business technique, Ryder,
Yeah.
and made it work for their family.
It's really cool.
And it really shows you the power of thinking about things like as systems.
Right, like seeing the big picture.
Yeah. They didn't just try to fix little problems here and there.
Uh-huh.
They zoomed out
Yeah.
and they saw how everything was connected.
And by doing that, they found out that even tiny changes can have a big impact.
Yeah, it's like that butterfly effect.
Oh, yeah.
One little flap of a wing
Right.
can cause a hurricane on the other side of the world.
Exactly. But in this case, the ripple effect was a good thing.
Yeah. It was like this wave of efficiency and peace in their house.
And the best part is they didn't stop with just their mornings.
Wait, are you saying they took these ideas and applied them to other parts of their lives too?
They did. They realized that this value stream mapping,
Okay.
it wasn't just about getting to school on time.
Right.
It was a whole new way of thinking about things.
So they unlocked this secret level of like life optimization or something.
You could say that they started using it on other things that were causing them stress.
Okay, can you give us some examples? Like how did they actually turn this business idea into real world solutions?
Sure. One thing they tackled was their family budget.
Okay.
They were feeling a little tight on money,
Uh-huh.
and they wanted to find ways to save
Right.
without giving up the things they enjoyed.
Makes sense. So instead of just randomly cutting back, they decided to map out their spending.
Yeah, exactly. They made a visual of where their money was going, just like they did with their morning routine.
It's like shining a spotlight on all those little expenses that sneak up on you.
Right. And once they had that map, they could see where they could cut back
Okay.
without feeling like they were missing out.
So what did they find?
Well, they noticed that they were spending a lot on takeout food.
Oh, yeah,
It's so easy just to order in,
it is easy.
but they decided to cook more at home,
Smart.
which saved them a ton of money.
And probably healthier too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
They also realized they were paying for a bunch of subscriptions
Oh,
they weren't using.
those are the worst. You sign up for the free trial and then forget to cancel.
Happens all the time. But once they canceled those subscriptions, they had even more money freed up.
Okay, so they approached their finances with the same kind of thinking they used for their morning routine.
Right, they were analyzing everything, looking
Right.
for ways to optimize.
Did they do this with anything else?
They did. Another area they focused on was weekend chores.
Weekend chores. Ooh, I feel that.
Yeah, weekends are supposed to be for relaxing,
Right.
but sometimes they feel like just another work day.
Yeah, you're just running around doing errands and stuff.
Exactly. The Smiths wanted their weekends to actually feel like downtime.
Okay, so I'm sensing a theme here.
Mm-hmm.
Did they pull out their value stream map again?
They did. They mapped out all their chores, laundry, groceries, yard work.
And then they looked for ways to streamline it, get rid of bottlenecks like they did with their morning?
Yep. They noticed they were wasting time running back and forth to the store.
Oh, yeah, like you could never remember everything in one trip.
Right. So they started making detailed lists,
Okay.
planning their meals.
Ah, so they could get everything they needed all at once.
Exactly. They also realized they weren't really working together on chores.
Like they were doing things separately that they could have done together.
Yeah. So they started working as a team,
Oh, that's nice.
which made things faster and more fun.
So they turned chores into like a family bonding activity.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And by doing that, they freed up more time.
To do fun stuff.
Exactly. Spend time together, do their hobbies, things like that.
It's not just about being efficient, it's about making space for the things that matter.
That's a great way to put it.
And that's what's so inspiring about the Smiths, you know?
Yeah.
They show us that we don't have to like be stuck with our routines.
Right.
With a little planning, a little experimenting.
Yeah.
We can make things work for us, not against us.
We have more control over our lives than we think.
That's a really good point.
And if we're willing to keep trying new things,
Yeah.
we can make our lives so much better.
So there you have it, folks. The Smith family's story shows us that this idea of systems thinking, it's not just for businesses.
Okay.
It's for everything.
It can help you with your morning routine,
Yeah.
your finances, your weekends, pretty much anything.
They've shown us that with a little creativity and a willingness to try new things,
Yeah.
we can transform our routines and make our lives a lot happier.
We hope their story inspires you to take a look at your own life
Yeah.
and see where you can apply these ideas.
Maybe you can make some positive changes too.
Exactly.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive.
Thanks for listening.
We'll see you next time for another exciting adventure.